Hey everyone, what is up? A very good morning and welcome to another daily market outlook in which we're going to be discussing the major dollar pairs and of course the dollar index and gold. So let's dive in, see where the markets have been heading. It has been quite a choppy market, but regardless, there were still some beautiful opportunities. Okay guys, so looking at the dollar index at the moment, what we saw in yesterday's market was on the lower time frame pretty much a fake out on the low once again. So looking at the 1 hour, this is pretty much kind of your lowest low, and after that lowest low, what do we see? We see that we have a clean move. So what happens? Fake out on that lowest low, then reversal back up in towards the highs. So we saw that beautiful initial dump yesterday, which I pretty much was kind of looking for potentially, as we of course do have this ascending wedge. However, on the other hand, we of course did not see a close above, so I was also not really happy that we were starting to push down, because I would have preferred to see a close above this white line, meaning bullish continuation, and then kind of that pullback in towards this area of demand, and then kind of upside continuation. So at the moment, still a pretty choppy market on the dollar index. Not really interested in taking any trades. I'll just see how this current market plays out. Are we going to see a close above that white line? Then I will be looking for a potential long upon a pullback, fake out on this low, and then a tap in towards this area of demand. I do think we are going to see kind of a larger sell-off on the dollar index, but let's just wait and see. For the rest, looking at the daily has not changed much, of course. Still daily supply just holding up perfectly fine. Then Aussie dollar. So Aussie dollar, pushed up from this area of demand. Not much really to be said for the rest. Just pretty much just consolidating inside of this range. Looking at the 4 hour, a lot of people were talking about shorts, but if you look at the 4 hour, you can obviously see that we are kind of in this bullish trend, right? So never fight the trend, just kind of try and look for what the trend is very objectively. And in this particular situation, we can see that, and let me just point it out for you guys. This over here was like the break of structure. Over here, bearish. This is the high which broke it. Then over here, this becomes your low. This becomes your high. Then we see a pullback. This becomes your low. This becomes your high. This becomes your low. Then this becomes your high. This becomes your low. This becomes your high. This becomes your low. This becomes your high. And then that's pretty much how the trend has continued. So we are still bullish, with this being your strong low, this being your weak high. So yeah, longs are still pretty much on the board. We are nearing this area of demand, as we can see on the lower time frame. Let me just point out, we already did see a bullish reaction once we did enter that area of 4 hour demand. So over here, we pretty much saw this bullish reaction, but at the moment, just diving deeper into towards this demand zone. Aussie dollar is just pretty consolidative, so I'm not really going to look for any trades at all. Just focusing on the daily time frame. What I do find interesting is potentially a deeper pullback into, let's say, over here, where pretty much this fake out low. And of course a push higher in towards either this area of supply or of course my preferable selling region. That's what I'm going to be looking at for the rest of this week. For the rest, not much going on. Then euro dollar. So yeah, euro dollar saw a beautiful sell-off further downwards in towards the lows, and then as we can see, beautiful push back up in towards the fair value gap, and now seeing a further bullish or bearish, continuation in towards the downside. Still waiting for further downside on euro dollar. I do want to see us hit at least that white line of 1.06274, and potentially even a push lower, of course, in towards that 50% mark of the overall swing range, which is also an area of daily demand and 4 hour demand. Then pound dollar is just consolidating. Not much to be said, as we can obviously see. Just keep an eye out for the daily area of demand, which we have located over here. If we do tap in towards that region, which causes trendline breakout, I will be looking for a potential long. Then Kiwi dollar is looking pretty good for a further push downwards. Looking at this 4 hour time frame, what do we see? Well, we do see beautifully that we have been flipping from a, so we're still pretty much, let me just see. So the structure on Kiwi dollar is a little bit, I would say, trickier to identify. I would say that this is kind of your break of structure, then this is your high, so this becomes your low, this becomes your high, then this is potentially your low, your high, your low, your high, and then again this is pretty much your low, then this is your high, and this is still your high because we never closed above it. So this is pretty much still your low, but now we've seen a break of structure, meaning this is now your high, this is now your low. Then drawing in the premium versus discount tool, what do we see? Boom, bada boom. As per usual, we have been pulling back to that 50% mark to absolute perfection. Pointed this out multiple times now in every single session that we do over here on YouTube, so please keep an eye out on that 50% mark. But looking at the overall structure, it does look good for a further push down. So looking at the daily again real quick, what I'm going to be looking for, I'm going to be looking for potential for the downside, because if you do look at the overall, let's say, swing structure on Kiwi dollar, in my opinion, it is bearish from this high all the way down towards this low. But yeah, for the rest, there's not much going on, because if you quickly draw in the premium versus discount tool, you do see that there's still some room before we hit that 50% mark, which is preferable to be hit before seeing like continuation with the overall trend. But yeah, looking at this 4 hour, it does look good to create a new lower low. Then once that new lower low is created, you could look for like a pullback and then another trade. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. For the rest, I don't really see that many opportunities. 15-minute, also not really that interesting. I do seem to see that real quick, this is pretty much your high break of structure, because this broke this low. So this is your high, this was your low, this was your new low, this was your new high, this was your new lower low. Then we look, break of structure, this becomes your high, this becomes your low, this becomes your high. Oh, wait, yeah, so then we see the break of structure. No, sorry guys. So we saw the break of structure. Then let me see, this is now your high, this is now your low. So we could see kind of like a pullback on Kiwi dollar from this area of demand. I know it's getting a little bit tricky, but this big sell before the big buy, that's kind of your area of demand from where I do expect a reaction. Wait for that pullback in towards, let's say, this area of demand. We have liquidity being built up over upon these highs over here. I'm starting to look like Picasso over here, but kind of, yeah, this area of consolidation, there's a lot of liquidity above the highs because we failed to take out the liquidity before dumping back down lower. So I do, and I would not be surprised if this were exactly to play out. React to this area of demand, pull back, take out liquidity above these highs, and then pushed back down lower from this area of supply. So yeah, that is pretty much it from Kiwi dollar. Excuse me for my voice, just getting all these drawings out of the way. And let's head over to gold. So gold, what happened to gold? And yeah, pretty much what I explained yesterday, right? So we've been moving up ever since from that area of demand. A beautiful 170 pips. Looking at the overall market at the moment, why are we kind of like pushing back down again? Well, because a lot of people are in the anticipation that the 1 hour trend is now down. So yeah, this was of course supply, which took out this low over here. That's now causing a push back downwards. But I just prefer to look at the 4 hour and above. Looking at the 4 hour and above, we are bullish, with this being your impulse up, this being your pullback. So yeah, we could still push down one more time, take out, let's say, liquidity again, then push up. But we could also just start pushing up. Regardless, I am more favorable for longs on on gold. So yeah, that is it pretty much. I am, however, in the understanding that gold is bearish on the daily. If I look at this chart, with this pretty much being your high, your low, and yeah, this being pretty much your swing range from here. This is being the pullback, then push down. Now, if I look at this daily chart, straight away, I'm kind of identifying this potential ascending channel. Then going in towards the 4 hour, what do I kind of see and what do I want to share with you guys? Like, if you look at the daily, it kind of looks like this. So kind of like this ascending wedge, where we had a beautiful fake out on that second high. So you see these ascending wedges are always handy to understand, because look, 1, 2, fake out on that second high, just missed supply, which is sad, but we did see a fake out on that second high and then the dump, right? But yeah, overall, I would prefer one more push up, tap in towards supply, because then we would, let me see, yeah, we would kind of form a new wedge again over here, or channel, so over here, and then like the bigger sell-off in towards demand again. But yeah, that is for later. It's a waiting game for now. Yeah, quickly passing on to Aussie CAD. Aussie CAD, beautiful beautiful pair has been playing out exactly as I anticipated. Sadly, we did not see kind of like a fake out on this high and a tap in toward that supply for another entry. But yeah, I've been calling this pair for shorts for a very long time now, already I think a week. So it's beautiful to see how this channel played out, and we are now setting off in towards the downside. Only other interesting pair potentially still for shorts is CAD Swiss, but the 15-minute kind of still needs to flip bearish in my personal opinion. So I would wait for that. It's kind of like what's going on at the moment. So you kind of want to see this. So yeah, that's CAD Swiss. We also had GJ. So GJ is still pushing up higher. The yen is very, very weak. Just keep that in anticipation of any potential trades. So I would definitely want to see some lower time frame trend switches. Nothing interesting on GJ as of now. Let me see anything else. CAD Swiss, CAD yen. CAD yen is a bloody rocket. If it were ever to pull back, this would be a beautiful area for a long. Let me see, G Swiss. So G Swiss has been pushing up beautifully from this area of demand. For the rest, dollar yen. As you can see, all these yen pairs are just so weak. Yeah, also Kiwi CAD, nothing at all. And this is very important to kind of take into consideration. As you can clearly see, trend is down. So don't start randomly buying. Kind of look at the lower time frame. Okay, what do I want to see before getting into any potential trades? So yeah, looking at this 15-minute, for instance, it's pretty obvious that this, let me see, okay, this is a trend. So this was the low, this is the high that broke this low, then low, high. Let me just point out like this. So low, high, and I said low, high, and then, yeah, I would say this is the low. I would just see this as one big move, then high, oh wait, excuse me, this is the pullback, taking out all the liquidity above these highs, above this high as well, and then the further sell-off. So you would have wanted to see it kind of like a break of structure over here on this high before looking at any longs. Yeah, so yeah, for the rest, nothing really interesting on Kiwi CAD. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Main focus on these dollar pairs and potentially CAD Swiss. And Aussie CAD is still a position that I'm in, looking to hold it further downwards in towards daily demand once again. So yeah, that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Quite a long episode. Hope you guys enjoyed. Do not forget to leave a like and subscribe. Wish you all the best and speak very soon. Thanks, guys.